Okay. A lot of people say on YouTube that they're ashamed to um, say that they have dyslexia. Not dyslexia. That they're ADD or ADHD. Um, but in reality, if they say they're ashamed to be ADD or ADHD, then they just need to really get over it, and get used to the fact that you're different. And being different is not bad, because I myself am ADD, attention deficit disorder, and dyslexic. Now, this one girl that I watched a YouTube video on, she said that ADD gets a bad connotation, but dyslexia gets a worse connotation for what everyone thinks what it is. Because dyslexia, everyone thinks, is getting your numbers and letters and things like that backwards, and that's it. But it's not, because I can I can when I don't think in words. I think in pictures. So, and I don't think like everyone else. I think outside the box. I think I think of a different way to approach the problem than everyone else does. And that everyone else and I consider that to be thinking outside the box. And so I don't think that I think dyslexia is a harder thing to deal with than being ADD. But you know what? I'm both. I'm ADD and dyslexic. And I am a extremely intelligent and sharp kid. I am I'm phenomenal at being able to, solve mathematical equations, or being able to apply mathematical problems, but I don't know my multiplication tables, and I can't do simple algorithms in my head. But I can do these complex problems that other people can't, and I can do that all in my head. But I can barely spell. I can I can read, but I can't read out loud, and a lot of people feel that that's a disadvantage. Well, it is a disadvantage, but everyone thinks that I won't be able to amount to what I want to do in life just because of that. So I'm basically out to prove everyone wrong, because I myself have had a rough go, but the rough times have just made me stronger. It's made me realize, and I'm not one of these fantasy people who are up in the clouds, just not knowing what is actually happening. I'm a realist. I have been picked on when I was younger, and I'm still getting picked on now because of my, well, the school calls it and doctors call it a disability of dyslexia. But I don't call it a disability. I call it a gift. And my ADD is a gift too, because it allows me to think quicker, faster, better than anyone else that is not ADD. And it just gives me an extra edge. If anything, I feel sorry for people who aren't, because they can't process the amount of information that I can all at once. I when you when I say car in your head, what do you think? Do you think of the word C-A-R, car, or do you think of what a car is, of how it runs, how it, do you hear a car? Can you see yourself um, buy a car, or your favorite car, the car you want to be in when you grow up? Well, I can see, feel, hear all that in my head. At some people say that dyslexia, dyslexics can see 3D objects in their head, and it's true because I can see 3D objects in my head. I can, and that's not even with having to close my eyes. If I close my eyes and imagine an object, I can take it apart and reassemble it and figure out what, how, and what makes it run, tick, whatever. I can also mentally assess and quickly deduct the problem that this thing could be having just by thinking about the object and the problems that it's having. And my reasoning skills are extremely phenomenal. My vocabulary is exponentially larger than most people that I've ran across. Most of my peers that I've interacted with, my vocabulary surpasses theirs by several years and grades, and it's kind of sad because I'm only 17, well, I'm about to be 18, but still, I mean, when you are that smart, but you don't learn the way the rest of the world does, it's very difficult. School's very hard for you, and it's going. I mean, every morning when my alarm goes off, I have anxiety. I start panicking because I don't want to go to school because I'm afraid of what other people could say to me or they could say about me because I'm very self-conscious about what other people say because and how they see me because that's very important to me because in the past in my past I've been battered and beaten and thrown down and put down about my disability, but and about my not being able to spell or my handwriting because I myself can't even read my own handwriting, so that makes any schoolwork um, impractical. So I've had to that's killed my self confidence in myself, and it and when you don't even have the support of your own family, when your mom won't even support you on your dreams or ambitions, no matter how crazy they are, it's really hard on your your self-confidence because you expect your parents to back you up and be there for you no matter what, no matter how crazy your ambitions or your dreams are. But I've been shunned by my own family basically about my dreams and ambitions because they're too crazy or they're too out of this world. I'm sorry that I am a thinker. I think, I dream, I wonder, I'm curious. I want to know why, what, how, um, what caused that, or how that happened. So, if you think being ADD is something to be ashamed of saying and admitting to yourself, then you are an extremely weak, weak person. Because you should just go back to your Bible and ask for forgiveness from God. Because you know what? Being dyslexic is a lot harder in school than being ADD. Or being ADD and dyslexic is a lot harder than just being one or the other. So that has made me come to the realization that God, He wouldn't do this to us. He wouldn't do this if He was really real. Or He wouldn't torture His own His own offsprings, as you could say, because He says everyone was made in the eye of Jesus Christ. Bullshit. That's just bullshit. So, being dyslexic and ADD has made me come to the realization that, has made me become a realist. I see the world for what it really is. I see everyone for who they really are. I see human cruelty for what it really is. Because I've firsthand experienced it. And if I haven't experienced firsthand, I can think about I can experience reality or thought as reality. So, just thinking about it, I can experience it. So, being dyslexic is a lot harder than just being ADD. You just can't pay attention, and that's bullshit. If you had the will, the want, the drive, you could do it. So, I don't give a fuck if you think it's a chemical imbalance or not, or if it is, you can still control it. And if not, there's medicine. So, there's no excuse. You should be able to live a normal life like everyone else. That's it. Uh, so people need to stop bitching about being ashamed of saying they're ADD or ADHD. That's not an excuse.